see how this goes. Ooh-wee. Ugh. Mm, 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 mm. Hi, I'm Pastor Geoff, and this is another devotional. Pastor in quarantine from Corona, drinking coffee, because I like coffee. Today I'm going to be talking out of one of my favorite books in the Bible. In fact, this book is a book that I start my year out with every single year, just by choice, because I love the teaching that I get out of it. And I think there are very practical things in the book of James that help me get through my daily life. And those reminders are always a good thing. Today I'm going to be talking out of James chapter 3, talking about wisdom. I feel that this is a very practical and timely teaching out of this particular book. So let me get to it. Who is wise and understanding among you? Chapter 3, verse 13. By his good conduct, let him show his works in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. That is not the wisdom that comes down from above, but it is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice. Up to this point, we're talking about a false wisdom. But the people that have that false wisdom don't realize that that wisdom is false. How do we judge if something is wise or not? How do you judge if something's wise or not? James is talking about people who might have had really great financial or personal gain results, but that's because their wisdom came out of selfish ambition or even jealousy. Like, hey, I'm jealous that that person has that, so I want to do whatever it takes in order to be able to get what they have. That's not the kind of wisdom we're looking for. The world, our culture, see that as wisdom. Whenever they can amass wealth or personal gain, that's seen as someone who has been wise, who has been seeking after the things that they wanted and were able to figure out how to get them. But that's not what we're talking about. That is the earthly wisdom that they say here in the book of James is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. Yikes! Those are some pretty harsh words there, James, boy. Yeah. Boy, James. Maybe I'll name this koala James. Hi, little Jane. I don't like it. We're continuing on in James, chapter 3, now verse 17. But the wisdom from above, here's our judgment of what is true wisdom, what is good, is first pure, and then peaceable, gentle, open to reason. Ooh. That's a tough one. We'll get back to it. Full of mercy, good fruits, impartial and sincere. Wow! Mind blown wisdom. Full of wisdom right here. Okay, so let's go back and break it down a little bit. I'd really like to focus on this part where the world thinks that wisdom means being able to figure out how to get what you want. It's full of selfish ambition. Yikes. Not good. In fact, it is considered earthly, unspiritual, and demonic, as we just read. But the wisdom that comes from above is pure and peaceable, gentle, open to reason. How many people do you know, possibly yourself included, that are open to reason? I'll let you think on that for a second. Good coffee. But seriously, are you open to reason? I like to think that I'm open to reason, but I know that sometimes I can be unreasonable. I'm sure there are people that are close to me in my life, like my wife, that might tell you that. Sometimes, I'm human, right? Just we're all unreasonable at some times in our life. And I can also tell you is those moments whenever I've been unreasonable, it turned out to be very unwise of me. Usually, I end up getting in trouble. Usually, it ends up badly. And a lot of times, I ended up having to eat my words. So, wisdom from above has taught me over time when I apply it, but the wisdom from above allows us to be open to reason, to not always think that we know everything, to not always try to explain everything to somebody else, when in reality, they might even have a better grip on it than we do. Like, trying to explain how a car's electric battery works to Elon Musk because he didn't realize that he might know a thing or two about batteries in vehicles, right? So trying to explain something to the expert is foolish. It's unwise. That seems like a very far-fetched thing, right? How many of us are ever going to meet Elon Musk? Elon, if you watch this, if you'd like to meet me, I'm all for it. I could name my koala after you. Elon, I love it. Hello, Elon. Elon the koala. It's beautiful. Wow, that seems really, really far-fetched. How many times do we try to tell God how to do his job? Probably more than we should, because we shouldn't at all. And to try to say that we know something that he doesn't is just absolutely foolish. But we can have wisdom from above. He will give it to us. When we ask for wisdom, he wants us to be wise. Make peace with those around you today. Be gentle. Be full of reason. Open to other people's opinions. There's too much that divides us today in our culture. Be a peacemaker. Be willing to listen, and not just hearing, right? Not just I'll listen for a minute, and then I will take every point that you made and make sure to throw it back in your face whenever I give you the right answer. That is not actually listening or being open to reason. So don't do that. That's not wise. In the moment that you're arguing, in the moment that you're not open to reason, in the moment that you're being unwise, it's not being Christ-like, and you're not shining the light of Christ into the world like you should be. So be open to reason. Be gentle. Be full of mercy, showing good fruit. Be friends with Elon. Don't pretend like he doesn't know a thing or two about batteries that go into vehicles. Don't try to think that you know how things should go better than God does. Trust him. Ask him for his wisdom. His wisdom is true wisdom. And then you can shine the light of Christ effectively. This has been another episode of Pastor in Quarantine from Corona drinking coffee. French press today. Yeah!